All right, let's take you back to one of our top stories now. As you know, Executive Mayor in the city of Johannesburg, Mpho Phalatse, reinstated yesterday, and now we're speaking to former Mayor Dada Morero on the recent developments at the City Council. Let's just touch base with him. He's joining us via Zoom. Mr. Morero, thank you very much for your time. Just 25 days in office, and already the court has said that what happened 25 days ago, or 26 days ago today, was unconstitutional. What's the way forward from your side? Will you be tabling another motion?
Well, at this stage, we are waiting for our lawyers to give us options and alternatives as to what should we do. We had a meeting yesterday, and we are meeting again later today just to get an indication of what possible options on the legal front do we have in dealing with this matter. As you know, that the reinstatement was as a result of the court, not necessarily as a result of the council processes or the support of the coalition members in council. So we are confident that going back as the coalition partners, we're still solid and we still have the required numbers to do anything in council. So we'll await the options given to us. But we can indicate that tomorrow there's a council meeting in which we'll be electing chairs of committees, and that is where we'll also demonstrate that as coalition we are still solid in terms of our numbers.
The same processes that you alluded to a bit earlier on was what the judge found problematic. He was basically saying that there was no need to go ahead with such a meeting or with such a motion during that council meeting because it was already something that was unconstitutional and unlawful. What is your response to that?
The judge did not pronounce on the contents of the motion, but the judge pronounced on the period and time in which the meeting was convened. Now, if you want to correct it, you'll have to correct it in accordance to the judgment. In the main, the judge said the time period and the way in which the notice was issued, it becomes a problem. So we'll have to correct issuing of the notice for the programming meeting and issuing the notice of the council properly so that you confirm to the court. But it is also important to note that the court has now created a new precedent in local government that special extraordinary meetings can only be convened the same way that you convene ordinary council meetings, which therefore means all meetings of council should follow a 72-hour notice, and that's what the judges actually pronounced on, when in fact there's always been precedence in council that we do convene meetings even at the shortest notice of about 4 hours, depending on the type of a special meeting you want to call, which in fact has actually changed in which local government should convene their meetings. The judge further on said that you must then also notify members of the programming committee on why are you convening a meeting and what are the items at the programming meeting, which is something we never did. All what we used to do was to issue a notice of the programming committee, and all representatives will find the agenda at the meeting. Now it means you must specify the agenda prior to the meeting of the programming committee, which changes the way in which local government has been doing things. So if the speaker, we have seen yesterday, the speaker has already given notice for a programming meeting in accordance to what the judgment has said. So we will hear when we then debate the issues at the programming committee meeting. So it means generally the speaker has therefore complied with the judgments of the court in convening a programming meeting.
Which basically, Mr. Morero, can possibly be looked at as the judge also agreeing with the DA when its leader in Gauteng, Solim Simanga, said the fact that they're taking the matter to court is a matter of principle, because they were always of the opinion that receiving communication for that extraordinary special council sitting on a Thursday evening for a Friday Friday morning was a plot, a political plot, which the judge also mentioned quite a lot in his judgment, even starting off with a sentence and a quote about plots that ruin kings.
Well, the judgment is there, and the court interpretation, it says the period in which the meeting was convened, it's unlawful and unconstitutional. Whilst there's precedents, in fact, there are letters that demonstrate that councils have been convened, even in less than a 4-hour notice. So while the judge has taken her own view on the matter, and we want to respect her decision, but it does not necessarily mean the judge is correct in this case, except that she's the judge and they used the court to make that decision, and we accept it. But it does not mean we agree with the judge, except to say, let's take what the judge has said and implement it as it is. And the speaker has taken a view. In the discussion we had last night, we said that she will follow the judgment in any case and convene the meeting in accordance to what the judge has recommended.
The judge also slams what she calls plots, basically political plots, where people are fighting for positions, etc. That's what the judgment says it seemed like, and it was mentioned quite a lot in the judgment, and that's how it looks, Mr. Morero, unfortunately, to a lot of Joburg residents, that there are positions that are being fought for, and coalition partners that belong to another party are now agreeing with the ANC suddenly because there's things that have been promised to them, etc. What's your response to that particular notion and the fact that that notion is being believed by some of the 6 million residents here in Johannesburg?
Well, first and foremost, I think the judge does not have space to comment on what happens in the political arena, in the sense of what happens in the chamber. We are political parties, and ours is to contest for state power. And that is why all of us contest for elections. And consistently, of course, there will be changes in terms of power relations. And of course, in Johannesburg, that's what happened. Those that were not happy with the DA coalition joined the other coalition of minority parties with the ANC, where we then agreed that we are ready to take power. So it happens in political space. The same way the DA has removed the ANC in Nelson Mandela Bay now recently, the ANC and its partners. So it happens everywhere that the political parties fight for space because they believe that their manifestos are correct and therefore they must implement their manifestos to address challenges that are there in society. You speak about the 6 million people that all of us represent. The ANC currently represents 85 wards of the 135 wards in Johannesburg, which suggests that the ANC as a party represents a huge number of that 6 million people that live and stay in Johannesburg. So we are on the right track to say our constituencies wanted us to go into power.